So what on earth happened there? Absolute unbelievable at the end of this race. I couldn't quite believe it. Anyway, we are getting into this race. This is in Exeter at the Col Classic in Devon. I was on holiday. I needed to get away from the wife and kids. Made an excuse because I wanted to test out what the last 4 or 5 weeks of consistent training post-operation would be like. So I thought I'd throw myself in down here. This course was a place where they teach people how to drive off the main road, so it's pretty cool. And straight away, as you can see, I'm already off the back, but it's the first lap. I was confident that no one was really going to get away. Bit of a gap opens up here. This guy's looking fresh, so I thought he can close that down and I'll just sit on his wheel. But yeah, great course. Each lap of this was 1 minute a lap, and it's even got traffic lights. I almost stopped, but I thought no, because then I would definitely get dropped. And it's got a little hill here. But I really enjoyed this course, nice and technical. It was great on the warm-up laps, because on the warm-up laps I could learn the lines, but once you're in a group, you kind of depending on the other people's lines and you get pushed out a tiny bit. And it took me about 10-15 minutes just to get used to the various different lines on here. So I ended up being at the back for a lot, trying to not get dropped and stuff. But in this race, I just wanted to try and get my, try and be competitive, because the last race I did, I had no training, only a little bit post-operation. And this has been 4 or 5 weeks of consistent training. So my goal was to stay with the pack and hopefully be competitive at the end rather than getting dropped in the last couple of laps. So as you can see here, this is lap 2 already. I don't have any power data or anything like that, but if you look on the right hand side, there's 2 riders already gone. Admittedly, I didn't even notice them at this point, because I was more concerned of other people's lines and stuff and just trying to keep it together. I think if I was more experienced in this group, I probably would have kept an eye out for that. But yeah, hey, they went off from the gun, and to be fair, if they had gone off from the gun and I realised, I probably wouldn't even followed, admittedly, because I thought I'd think to myself, they're not going to last the whole race. So yeah, the finish line is straight down there on the left, by the way, so it's actually off the track, which is really bizarre, and I didn't know this until the start of the race, where this guy said,
I've got a question. I think I know the answer. Whereabouts is the finish?
Oh, how many times have you raced up here?
I'll go the right way, but I just...
Right. You will go, your lap goes around that way, the way you've been riding, alright? When we put up the last lap, you will go straight on. You won't go back down that way, alright? Of the finish. So when you come around for the finish, don't go down there, go straight on, okay? We will put 5 laps to go up. Alright? Anybody else got any questions?
So yeah, a massive thank you to that guy for asking that question, because even though it sounded like a stupid question to everyone else, I actually had never raced there before and I had no clue about that. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have even known where that finish line was. So yeah, anyway, really sorry about this race because I don't have any power overlay, heart rate, and I forgot to do the timer at the top. So I'm going to make this a short video. I'm going to get into about 20 minutes into the race. Here we go. So at this point here into the race, I become aware that the 2 riders are up the road. I'm like, we've not lapped anyone. Who are they down there? And I'm like, oh, they're already half a lap ahead of us, which is about 40 seconds, I think they were, when I calculated it back on this video. And I thought, they've gone. And I thought, there's no way we're going to catch them up. You can see here, I'm actually getting dropped a little bit. I think that's because I looked over and, yeah, because it's so technical, you look around, and then before you know it, you're off the back. So shot myself in the foot when I noticed the people that were away. So yeah, I do a bit of a bit to get back on. But yeah, them 2 riders had a nice tidy gap at this point, and I thought, well, it's only going to be a matter of time before they probably lap us. And sure enough, they did. About half an hour after the last clip, go on the right from Mid Devon Velo, and the Scott Redding race team come by. There they are. And I thought to myself, fair play, lads. That's good work there. I wasn't in a state to be able to chase them down. I think I would have tried to happily, but But yeah, my goal was to stick in the peloton and be competitive for the end. So in my head, now it was just a battle to get into third place for the end, really. So I wasn't demotivated because I thought, well, I wasn't really prepared to win a race today because I'm only 4 or 5 weeks back into training. But I thought I should be able to handle a bunch finish. So yeah, after this bit, it's quite a boring race on my part. I just stuck in the peloton the whole time. Try not to get myself off the front because I wanted to save energy. And yeah, let's get into the last 5 laps. Here you go, 5 laps to go. The 2 lads that had lapped us at this point, they hadn't carried on going through us to double lap us because that would have really took the mick. So in my head, I was thinking to myself, 5 more minutes, probably going to pick up a little bit now. And let's get it. Let's keep my nose out the wind so I can be competitive for the end. I was feeling quite good at this point as well. So we're a lap extra, and on the left-hand side, you can see it says 3 laps. And now I was a little bit confused because I thought there was 4 laps left now. And I was a bit like, oh, what's going on? Yeah, so I thought 3 laps or 4 laps? What on earth? And at this point in the race, speed had picked up, and you start seeing, your brain starts mounting a bit. 2 laps to go, but I just heard a bell. So I'm thinking to myself, I've got 2 laps, 3 laps, or is this the last lap? And yeah, I was thinking, right, I'm on the last lap now, the bell's gone. I'm all over the place, so I'm thinking, right, let's just stick behind this little group here. At the end, let's go for it. I mean, I've heard a bell. What more can you want? I was already confused at this point. So yeah, I stay off the back so that hopefully at some point I can not do too much work and try and slingshot my way past everyone. So I'm coming up here, I'm behind this guy. He was quite a nice big rider, so I've got a good draft there. And yeah, so come around here. As we're coming up here, he goes off to the left, and there's a little divot there, and I thought, oh, that was close. This guy stands up, and I'm thinking, right, let's get into position, let's work up a little bit. And I'm waiting for a gap on the right-hand side to open, and bang, they've given it to me. So I start going, and I can actually see the flag being waved, and I'm thinking, yes, go, 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 go. So I'm coming up here. This guy there on the left looked like he was, God knows, he was turning right or going straight on, I don't know. Finish line. So I think you can guess what I've done wrong here. So let's go back and re-watch it. So I come up here, I come out on the right, and I thought we were all finishing together, so I start going for it, and I'm thinking I'm going to get third. But I pause it, you see 1 lap left on the left-hand side. You can't quite see it as well. Straight ahead there is a flag going, and the guy on the left looks like he is getting out of the way for the sprint. So I'm committed, I'm going for it, and yeah, I did not notice that number 1 lap sign just there. So I've noticed the flag, but now I've just heard a bloody bell, and I'm like, oh my God, confusion set in because it completely startled me. And from here to that right-hand corner is like a millisecond, literally. So I'm already committed at this point. So I'm going for it. Then out of nowhere, that guy turned right on me, and I was like, oh my God, he must have been confused. And yeah, it turned out 1 more lap was left. Proper jabroni. So yeah, if the finish line was on the track, I could have rode out that last lap and just tried to correct my error. Might have meant leading people out for a little bit, but yeah, because the finish line was off the track, I couldn't even go back round to carry on. So yeah, a little bit annoying, but is what it is. Fair play to these 2 riders, absolute beasts. 2 Up TT did a great job. Nice clean lines and not having to deal with loads of people in them technical corners and stuff. So they had a great game plan there. So fair play to them both. And I shall see you in a video soon. If you've made an error like that, comment below if you're a dope like me. And yeah, like this video if you enjoyed it and you feel sorry for me. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this race. Subscribe to the channel. And I would definitely recommend this course. Just pay attention, unlike myself.